Notts County Talk, we are live for episode 13 of the Pavis Perspective. It is an absolutely packed show tonight. Probably, George, the busiest show we've ever had, I think.
Yeah, without a doubt. There's so much to talk about, isn't there?
So much. We'll go through Rochdale, the 1-1 draw at the weekend, away from home against a side, a league above us. We will talk about Neil Ardley returning with Solihull. We'll talk about the replay being chosen for TV. We'll also be doing a giveaway for the mug. Getting your thoughts on the lineup, getting your thoughts on the score, putting a few of those up on the screen. And we've just got so much to talk about. George, any new tricks you found with that mug this week? I've heard it stirs itself.
I actually dropped it. I obviously live in a house. I dropped it from my bedroom window and it didn't break.
We learn new things, don't we, every single day about this mug.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Keeps things warm for days, keeps things cold for days, stirs itself. Can't break, literally can't break. So, fantastic. If you are joining us and you would like to enter the giveaway, don't forget to subscribe as well, and we will get the show underway. So, George, 1-1 at the weekend, Sunday for the extended highlights that were not very extended, especially if you haven't online. They're like 3 minutes long. You waited for the show, didn't you, on telly?
Yeah. So I actually had family over as well, and they're all moaning at me, saying, "Oh, I don't want to watch these highlights," and they're on for a while. And I'm like, "Oh, they'll be on in a minute. Be on in a minute. Be on in a minute." And they just were on the last, and it literally just showed about 30 seconds. Their goal and our goal, and that was it.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know what that was about. See, it sounded like a good game as well. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah. But nevertheless, it's a 1-1 draw. It's a very, very good 1-1 draw in my eyes. There were periods in the game where we were slightly on top. Obviously, we were going to be up against it. Have you seen the extended highlights as well?
I haven't.
For me, looks like, the standard referees you have could easily have been given a penalty if they're tackled by.
Sorry, I did see that actually.
But really, it could have been a penalty, I think. Everyone tune in. So Ben, Ian, Ellie, everyone else, evening. Thank you for joining. If you would like to be in with a chance of winning the unbreakable stir yourself mug that George has been drinking out of, this week's hashtag is #Mugshot. Okay, so if you put #Mugshot in that chat now, let's see who's going to be the first to put it in. You will be in with a chance of winning one of only 5 mugs. Literally, there's only 5 been made recently, and I think there's only probably 10 or 11 actually made at the minute.
He's getting killed. There's 11 that exist in the world at the moment. Yeah.
11. So get the 1-1 draw. Was you surprised with their team he named, or do you think Berkshire's a manager that's very much he always wants his strongest side?
It seems that way, doesn't it? At the moment, it seems that way. I kind of wasn't surprised by it. I feel like form is very important in football, and players to keep rolling that form over. He always talks about how much he actually enjoys the Saturday, Tuesday playing so close together, because it keeps that form. When you're winning, it's good to be playing that often, because confidence is just growing and growing and growing. So I do think it's a good thing that he because we talked about it, didn't we, in last week's episode, that we'd like to see like a very strong side, and that's what he did. That's what he did, wasn't it?
Yeah, I went on the fan hub app, and I think I got 10 out of 11. I think I can't remember who I included in the starting line. I think I included Ed Francis in the starting lineup, and that it interested me that he is now fallen massively down the pecking order, hasn't he? And he was a player at the start that you really liked.
Yeah, he was, with a lot of promise as well. I mean, you can't write anyone off because it's not even Christmas yet. I think he'll get another chance. There's going to be a couple of injuries here and there throughout the season. So it'll be interesting to see, really, because you want him to do well. We want him to do well, but we've not seen really a great rounded performance from him, have we?
No, he's a liability for me, a massive liability. And then you've got players like Frank Vincent who can literally play the way he's playing and sell tickets in the club shop. And I don't see Francis selling tickets in the club shop, do you?
I don't know.
No, exactly. You've two midfielders.
The guy oozes charisma, doesn't he? Vincent.
He does.
And Rodriguez. Did you see him with his aviators on? What a bloke.
I did. Of course I did. I didn't recognise him, They fully threw me. I think he was trying not to be recognised. But yeah. Chris has just messaged in. This made me laugh. That he can't listen right now, but he's just tuned in to enter for the mug draw. It would be a nice surprise if later on today or tomorrow you did see you won. That makes me laugh. But yeah, you're in. You entered the draw, hashtag Mugshot. And there we go. We're already up to double figures on our entries. So keep putting hashtag Mugshot if you're live, of course. If you're not, we are going to be doing a Twitter style giveaway as well. So Rochdale, we get the 1-1 draw. Obviously, for those massive extended highlights, it was on a Sunday. Earlier today, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was today. They released the games that are going to be televised. And to me, it's not really a surprise, I don't think, that our potential next game is being chosen for TV. So if you don't know, and I'm sure you all know, the winner of our tie gets a home tie against Sheffield Wednesday or Plymouth. Let's say we win the tie, George. Who would you prefer? I think it's pretty simple.
Yeah, Chef Wednesday, innit? Every day.
Sheffield Wednesday at home would be good.
Yeah, massive. It's not even just that as well. It's like the prize money, isn't it? I think teams that then if we pass this round, then it's £60,000 prize money. That's massive for Notts. That's a big amount of money for us to be gaining. And then we don't want to get ahead of ourselves because we're not going to be favourites going into that game. We'll be at home, which is obviously it goes in our advantage, but then you go on to the next round and the money keeps coming in. And I think a cup run would be great for us this season. I think it helped the league so much just to have that confidence within the squad. I agree. I don't think a cup run is bad because you don't just want to solely be focusing on the league because then the pressure starts to creep in. If you can be doing well alongside a cup run, I think it can only be positives. And to be honest, I've seen a few tweets that say with the TV money as well, the total it will be totaling around £100,000, which for a team in the National League, £100,000 is unbelievable. You know, that look at. I'm not saying it will be spent on a player, but look at what 60,000 gets you in Wootton. I know prices have gone up these days because Chesterfield has spent like 14 million on Tashalanga or something, but £100,000, and if you get through the next round, you never know. Never know. I'm massively getting ahead of myself because we've still got Rochdale to play. How confident are you with that game? Because you said that they're coming as favourites. I don't disagree. They're coming as favourites, but they're coming as a side that had the lead against a non-league side. Let's be honest, we're non-league. They had the lead and they let it slip, and they missed chances to win the game. They missed a great chance, and it was a fantastic Patterson save. But they're coming frustrated, and they're coming in. They're not going to be buzzing to come to Meadow Lane for a game. It's not like some of the sides in this division that are excited to come to Meadow Lane midweek. They don't want this in their calendar. They literally don't. So how do you feel about that? I totally agree with you, but I do feel it's going to be a very, very difficult game. We've played them now. They've weighed us up a little bit more than what they would have done leading up to that game. So they maybe know what they're getting. The good thing about the squad that we have is it can be unpredictable. Like we could go to Rochdale on Tuesday and we could see like a 4-3-3 or a 3-5-2. The team could be completely different, and it could confuse the opposition a little bit. There's just so many different aspects to the squad. I feel like anything could happen, but Rochdale are a good side, a really good side, and they're sort of similar to ourselves in the way that they like to play the game properly, like play football. We had our chances on Saturday, don't get me wrong, but I feel like they had the better of the chances. And we just need to cut out sloppy defensive errors and being sloppy in possession, because it's literally our biggest downfall. This whole season, we've never been outplayed. We've never been outclassed, really. Obviously, other than maybe a capitulation here and there, but I don't feel like we've ever come up against a team and thought, well, we're nowhere near this standard. We always seem to come away the better team. We just seem to let ourselves down a little bit. So I feel like at Rochdale we have to step up. Even Solihull on Saturday, because they're a side that are banging form at the minute.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit, won't we? Unbelievable form.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't think it's going to be easy. I really don't think it's going to be easy. I feel like it's going to be one of those really games where we're going to have to, if we do win, it will be a really ground out result where we're going to have to be really resilient. Kind of like Wrexham, I think, away.
Yeah, it's one of those games for me. If I was putting a bet on and I had a look at those games on a Tuesday night, I wouldn't put Rochdale on though. Even though they'd be favourites, I'd look at that and I'd think they could slip up there. and that's what gives me a little bit of hope. Like,
Yeah,
you wouldn't lump on Rochdale in that game, and if anything, you'd probably back Notts because they'll be a bit better odds. But I do think it's going to be very interesting because obviously League Two sides still want a cup run, but they're not having an amazing season, and they never know. They could turn up and think, right, we got a little bit embarrassed by not putting Notts away on last Saturday. We'll go and thump them 2 or 3 goals here. And if they did, they're a league above us, and they're a league above us for a reason. So, it's going to be really interesting. Do you think there'll be a sellout for what we've got? I think we've opened half the Kop, the lower half of the Kop, and I think we've opened the Pavis stand, obviously.
I think it'll be close. With it being a Tuesday night, it doesn't really go in the favour, does it? But I think we'll sell a good few tickets. I'd say like 4,000 or 5,000 maybe. I don't think they'll travel heavy, will they? Because the attendance for the game on Saturday was, I think it was only 2,100, and 750. Those are Notts fans. So
yeah,
for a fan base to be at home on a Saturday and bring in sort of less than 1,500 fans, they're not going to be wanting to travel on a Tuesday night very heavy, are they?
No, exactly. But if you look at it on the flip side, you can get a playoff, 2 teams in the playoffs in front of hopefully a record crowd and an FA Cup tie with a League Two side for £15 within like 4 days. I think it's very good from Notts.
Oh yeah,
very good, massively. And it sort of ties in with, you just think this club, the fan base can grow. The fan base needs to keep growing as well, because when Med Lane's packed out, the atmosphere is fantastic. The atmosphere can get pretty good with 5,000, and that's like a quarter of the capacity. I'm buzzing, absolutely buzzing for Saturday, if I'm honest.
For me as well, I feel like Notts are missing a massive trick with not offering like student tickets.
Yeah, we said that, didn't we?
We have said it before, but I feel like it just needs to be said time and time again, just to like there's an action done on it, because there's so many students in Nottingham. There's 2 massive universities, a huge college. So if anyone from Notts is listening, get it done.
I don't know. We might have attracted a couple of people with the mugs. Keep getting in. #Mugshot. We are into double figures entries, and we'll be drawing it at the end of tonight's show. So we've sort of touched on Rochdale. We've talked about the team will play. Well, not the team will play. We talked about the replay, how we think they'll come about the game, whether they'll go full strength. We're not really sure. We'll talk about the Rochdale team as we do the Solihull team at the end, sort of see if we would change anything around, because we are going to be going Saturday, Tuesday. We've got obviously Solihull coming this Saturday, Rochdale, then I think we go Eastleigh on the Saturday, then we go to Boreham Wood. Chesterfield's got to be rescheduled at some point, because obviously Chesterfield have got through the FA Cup. So the 4th of December game, which we were massively looking forward to, going to Chesterfield. Either way, if Notts win or lose, that's it. The game's not happening that day. And would they move it to a midweek? I don't know. Chesterfield seemed to have some dodgy fixtures when we looked at the list, didn't they?
Really dodgy.
4 home games in a row
at the end
in
of the
2022.
Season.
Like just after Christmas, when games haven't even been rearranged, got 4 home games in a row. When does that happen in your fixture calendar? I don't know. They've got 4 home games out of 5 as well. Very odd. Maybe they've used some of their money. I'm not sure. You might not be happy, Tom, if it's a big queue at the bar on the nav on Saturday. Yeah, I know. The only thing is, the Turnstiles couldn't cope with the Tamworth replay. We naively got there very late for the Tamworth game. Like, you pick me up in good time to get to the game. Next thing you know, it's about 5 minutes till kickoff, and there's a good 50 people in front of us in the queue.
Yeah.
So if you're watching and you're new to going to Notts, I get there in plenty of time. I would definitely get there in plenty of time.
Without a doubt, yeah.
Because the Turnstiles can be quite slow, especially with their little readers they have that don't always read it on your phone. We're okay because we've got the season tickets, but the readers on the phone don't always work. I work on the Turnstiles. Yeah, but Callum, I was talking about, obviously not you. You're one of the best people at scanning.
You've recovered that brilliantly there. Well done, mate.
I have. I've dropped myself in it there. But there will be big queues. We know there will be big queues because it's going to be a record attendance. So we'll go on to that Solihull game then. Do you think, George, yes or no now, Notts are going to break just over the 11,000 attendance?
Yes.
Yes. Put in the chat if you think Notts are going to break that attendance. Up until they tweeted the 10,000 tickets sold tweet, I didn't think it was going to happen. But I do. I really, really do. The only thing is, we could get embarrassed later in the season because I don't know how many Wrexham holds or Stockport holds, but they could easily just pick us, couldn't they? We could make a massive deal of this.
I was thinking that. I was thinking Wrexham could swoop and do it, definitely. Like you say, Stockport as well, because I know Bolton's very close to Stockport, but
they took 5K.
They took 5,000 to Bolton. That's amazing. Like,
yeah,
we don't even like some home games. I mean, I'm not going to say that because that's not true. Go on.
Well, that's anything. You're digging yourself a hole.
Yeah,
you're going to say some home games we don't get. You're going to say some home games we didn't get 5,000, but we literally do. This home game,
it's not happened yet, has it?
Ian thinks 11.5. There's a 10.5 here. I mean, you would have thought the only thing by the end of the week, well, by this time in the week, you would have thought most fans would have purchased their tickets. So I'm thinking now.
There's always going to be people buying them on match day as well.
Yeah, there will, but is there going to be that many? Wrexham, 10,771 capacity, Callum says. Well, they can't beat us then.
Do you know what I was thinking about, though? Like, it's an interesting way to look at it. Do you know if just 10% of the people that have already got tickets, so there's 10,000 people going already, even if just 10% of those people brought an extra person, would break the record?
Yeah.
It's literally that simple. Like, if everyone just took one, if you're watching this now, just think, oh, I might invite that person. I might invite that person. If you just take one more person, it could be the difference.
It literally could. So I was thinking about my family. So the people in my family that go to games, me and my dad, that's 2 people in my family. For this game, there is an extra 4 people coming. So from 2 as a family, we've gone to 6. Straight away, that's massive. That's a massive difference. You've gone from 1 to 3.
We've both tripled. We've both
literally tripled. And there's going to be some families that will triple. There'll be some families that will double. There'll be some families that won't even double the amount that come in. But there'll be some that will just smash that. Maybe 4 times the amount of people coming in their family. It's a massive opportunity. It is. And I've been, some people, Callum says, got 8 tickets. 8 tickets.
Bragging rights as well, isn't it?
It is.
It's huge bragging rights.
Jordan, lovely. You're back on the channel on Saturday. Says Stockport 10,852 capacity. So this is a real opportunity, and I will be sat there gutted, if Notts don't break it, because I'd really love it to happen. I would love it to happen.
If I mean, we should see what it's like. I mean, I hope they're sort of talking about, because I'll literally be ushering people in off the streets if we're close.
Well, you'll be paying for it.
No.
Ian says, my son's taking 7 mates, nephew taking 6 others. That's what we want. I mean, we don't want...
Great effort. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah, we want people that want to be there. I don't want to say certain fans... Well, we don't want certain fans to come in just to be there. But at the same time, we want people to get there, be enthused. Bring younger children. Like, literally bring people that are going to watch this game and think, I want to be like that player. I want to be like Ruben Rodriguez. Or in your case, George, I want to be like Ed Francis on the bench. Not even on the bench. There's opportunities. So put in the chat who you're bringing, or if you're bringing anyone new, or people that bring in people new. It'll be interesting. Ellie says there'll be her dad, nan, granddad, cousin, and her boyfriend. That's a massive increase. I have no doubt that on a normal game you wouldn't get that amount of people. So if we can break that record, it'll be something fantastic. And the way the club are going about it makes me think they might be quite close. Now, the most important thing that day is Solihull. You brushed up on the form, George. Have a quick talk about that form.
It's crazy. The last 8 games, they've conceded 1 goal. And within those games, they've played Wigan as well. And they didn't concede to Wigan. Crazy form that is. Ardley's really got them defending well, hasn't he? The game before that 8, I was saying it to Tom, so that 9 games ago, it was when they played Dagenham and they lost 5-1. And then since then, they've conceded 1 goal. So it's a crazy turnaround. But looking through their results, they've had some really good results as well. They beat Torquay, they beat Boreham Wood. So so far this season, they've had some good results. It's not like they've just defended really resiliently, which, I feel like since we've been in this league, Solihull have always sort of been like that anyway. But I feel like they sort of have that attacking threat now as well, don't they, with Dallas? Yeah. So yeah, they're looking like a good side, and Ardley's a good manager. And I've got to say as well, I hope he gets a good reception on Saturday.
Well, I don't no doubt he will. I literally no doubt he will. If you just watched the Birchnell presser that came out like literally an hour ago, maybe he says Ardley's laid some very, very good foundations. Like he literally laid some great foundations for Birchnell to come into, because he did. You wouldn't know it when we started shipping goal after goal after goal when Birchnell came in, but he did. I've scrolled back because there's a couple of comments here. So you've got one here. So Royston says Solihull's keeper is Vanarama team of the week. That says a lot. If a team aren't conceding and your goalkeeper's team of the week, he must be producing some big saves or doing very well. And one from Ian that can't agree more. We know Barroway only can be a good tactician, so it'll be interesting to see how we line up. I actually think that Birchnell's a very good tactician as well. Do you, George?
Yeah, I was just about to say it's like a chess game, but Ian obviously just said it at the end of his comment there. I think that's exactly what it's going to be like. It's going to be such a closely contested game. But I'm hoping it's not one of those really boring 0-0 games when there's 11,000 people there watching. I feel like with a big crowd, it may edge a few players on that aren't used to playing in front of big crowds to make a few errors. Maybe I'm just got my Notts County hat on, but I mean, I hope we see a good open game, but I don't think it will be like that by any stretch of the imagination, will it?
No. Did you see the Q&A that was on Instagram yesterday with Ruben and Cal? And they were asked some
favourite
questions. No, not the favourite Chris question. If you sent the favourite Chris question in,
what a question! That is fantastic.
Why did you want to know that?
It's a good question.
Yeah, but why do you want to know that? It goes to bed at night.
What if they go down the tunnel at the end of the game, and there's a fan there with their favourite pack of crisps? That's amazing,
ridiculous.
That is.
You're absolutely ridiculous. Luke just put something in the chat. Luke, I'll get back to that question in a minute. Definitely will. The question about best atmosphere played in front of, I think it was, or best crowd you've been in front of them, and Ruben put Chesterfield playoffs. Now, obviously, the way the game went massively influenced why that is the best crowd he's been in front of. But that was with social distancing, and we're probably going to get 3 times that crowd. Maybe I can't remember what the playoffs were, what the playoff crowd was. Maybe a bit less, but
that's the thing, isn't it? It's crazy. We've not really actually been there for a playoff game, have we? Like I know it was a long time ago and it's a little bit different, but when we actually lifted the trophy at Meadow Lane when we went up from League 2, it was a sellout, wasn't it?
Yeah,
literally a sellout crowd. So can you imagine what it'd be like for everything goes that way for the rest of the season, and that does happen. But let's say a playoff game at Meadow Lane, it's going to be massive. We'll could probably even break the record then. Do you know what I mean? But we've got to get there first, haven't we? It's a long season. And
I do generally think the way prices are, I don't want to get political or anything here, but the prices and things are so expensive at the minute. The football for a £5 on international weekend is such a clever thing to do.
Yeah, it is really
the difference between paying £5 for a ticket or paying 4 times the price at £20 for some people will put them off. If you're not a massive football fan, why are you going to pay £20 to come?
Yeah,
£5 is such an appealing price, and I think under 16s are £1. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's so smart, because I was questioning a few weeks ago why they're not doing it for the Dagenham game that's on telly. But it's obviously because it's international weekend, and Forest aren't playing obviously, and get people in Nottingham around the stadium. Hopefully get some new fans. I'm sure there will be, but does anyone know if it's £5 for Solihull? Because that's pretty tight if it's not. You'd be good as a Solihull fan. It must be £5 for away supporters as well.
Yeah, no,
surely. If anyone knows, please let us know. So there's a few questions here. Few opinions here. Hope the players relax and enjoy the game rather than feel under pressure of a big crowd. I think they will. I do think they will, because Weymouth at home was a massive occasion. The crowd wasn't massive, but what fans were back, they thrived. Chesterfield at home, they scored a goal in the playoffs from 30 yards, a bit of a freak goal, and then they caught it on the break. Other than that, we played really well. They seem to be thriving under the pressure at the minute. That's what I like about this team. They don't lose their head. They're pretty good, which we've seen about other Notts teams. They said if they break the record, they'll do a forfeit. Chris says, yes, it is £5 for Solihull too. That's good, because that just increased their capacity. And it's a nice thing to do. People think of clubs nice, a good thing. So
good gesture, yeah.
Yeah, it is. And I saw FanHub, who obviously we talk about quite a lot, put a tweet out for the best away day. And so many people put Notts was a good away day. That's what you want. I know it's about the city as well, not just the stadium, but you want to think that, don't you? You want to think it's good.
Yeah,
so
I think Hooters goes in our way favour with that one, doesn't it?
Yeah,
all away fans talk about Hooters.
Yeah,
but no, I mean, Meadowlane's a great occasion.
Even the thing like Stockport, people we know and Stockport fans were tweeting saying like just the stewarding was top class at Notts. Little things like that. You've got to get it right off the pitch as well as on the pitch. So,
yeah, they actually are class though. The stewards aren't they? They're always really like helpful.
Actually,
when you go to some away, friendly and helpful. When you go to some away days, it's not like that at all, is it?
No. Ellie says, I'm really hoping we get promoted this season as I've never seen Notts County get promoted. So we've seen it once, I think, that season. But yeah, as Notts fans, we don't have that much positivity, do we? Like, I was thinking this. Obviously, we've been Notts fans longer than we've done the channel. We have. But since we've done the channel, we've seen a relegation, a playoff final defeat, an FA Trophy semi-final defeat.
Do you know what?
Playoff semi-final defeat. So I'm with you, Annie. Massively want to see it.
Football's just heartbreaking, though, isn't it? Because we're talking about that. We're talking about Notts and that as well. But let's talk about international as well. Within that time frame, we've lost a World Cup semi-final and the Euro final. Like, football has been soul destroying for Notts fans. If you're an England fan as well.
Yeah.
But we're still here and we're still smiling.
And it's that soul destroying. And then, like, as soon as the tickets for Tamworth replay came on, I was like, getting them. Let's get that.
But you know what? Replay. I think there's such a good feel around Notts at the minute. You know, like I mean, for me individually, I don't think I'll be alone by saying this. The fans and the club have got such a tight knit connection now, and we're getting gates that we struggled to get when we were in League One. And I mean, when I first started going, when we were in League Two, we were sort of struggling at the bottom of League Two. That's when Sellout was our main man. I think it was like 3,000 fans. Can you imagine 3,000 fans at Meadow Lane? And that was for a league game. Like, the connection now with the fans and the club, it's amazing. It's the best I can recall ever seeing it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it is. It does feel really good at the minute, and I just want that to carry on.
Yeah, me too. Because I think that it's good foundations for a positive direction for the club, and I do feel like the club are in a positive direction. I think everyone does, you know. Yeah, I was speaking to Neil, that's obviously been on the channel quite a lot, and he was saying to me at the last home game, he was saying he finally thinks only now we're getting over what happened with the previous owner. Yeah, we're only just getting over it now. And you know, in fact, he said he thinks we're probably just getting over the relegation from the Munto season as well. Like, we had the playoff stint where we lost to Coventry, but it can't have been that great because the next season we got absolutely demolished by like Yeovil at home and things like that. So, you know, the club is so stable and secure at the minute, and it's a very nice feeling. Like, where people are excited to take people to watch the game that haven't been. Can't wait for Saturday to show people the club that Notts are. So it's really good. There's been a few questions on here, so I'll go on to those really quickly because we probably talk about Notts every single day on our chat, don't we? Me and you. So First one, something you talked about on Monday to me. Opinions on Kyle Wootton. What do you think? He's class. He's a great player. Superb player. I think he's one of the best in the National League. To be the best, he's got to improve his finishing. If he had good finishing, he would be the best striker in the National League.
And you don't think he is now?
No.
He's not, is it? It's Tashamanga, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. I really like Wootton. I think his whole play is superb. The difference with Wootton is Chesterfield have Tashamanga who's scoring all their goals. There you go, that's it. We've got Kyle Wootton that's scoring a good number of goals, but creates a good number of goals. And I'd rather have that, to be honest. The better striker is Tashamanga. I would rather have in my side. With the players we've got, probably Kyle Wootton, because you can't do that. You can't ruin what I was going to say like that. We can't have both because 14.5 million for a striker is not so good.
Yeah, for a National League player, it's too much, isn't it?
14.5 million is absolutely ridiculous. 15.5 million for a striker, it's closing in basically 16 million for a striker. It's just getting a bit of a joke. And the second question I saw, that caught my eye. Can we talk about Cal playing centre mid? Feel like we're forcing him to do something he's not. Out and out winger who shoots 4-3-3. I would agree with the out and out winger, 100%. He is best cutting in, and we know that.
I remember saying this before the season even started.
So, in a 5 at the back, George, does he fit in at all?
Yeah.
5-2-3 with 2.
Yeah, I think he does. I think he does. It's not his preferred position, and he's not, playing his ideal style of football, but he still has a massive impact on the game. But the 4-3-3 suits him better, and that's when we will see the best of Cal.
Yeah, he needs a goal badly.
Yeah,
badly.
It for a couple of weeks now, haven't we?
Yeah, when that hit the bar against, I think it was Bromley.
Yeah, imagine the scenes.
That would have lifted him so much. There's such a good player in there, and he's stuck at a level now where he's playing okay. He's playing pretty well. He's still attracting attention, which is always important because it frees up players like Ruben. But he's got to do more.
Did you see that video that he put up on Instagram, or it might have been on Twitter as well, where it's in training, it's like on a camera in training, and the ball gets lofted into him from so far away, and it's like outside the box, and he just volleys it top bins.
Yeah, but then Carl Cameron shouts David Shinola. So there you go. Back on the Wharton topic before we go to our team, would you have sold Wharton for 300,000 Stockport? Definitely not. Definitely not. No way. I wouldn't have anyway, because then you lose that focal point up front.
Yeah, definitely.
He's really, really good. He is a very good player, and I really like him.
I wonder if that's actually a real thing. Did that actually happen?
I don't know. But I wouldn't have sold him. But 300k will be a lot. That's a massive amount. Is he worth 300k?
That's 5 Kyle Wootons.
I don't know. Your maths is sharp. So well done on that.
Thank you.
Right, we'll go on to our team then. So, Ardley is a tactician. We know that. Birchland was a bit of a tactician as well.
Birchland's a tactician, but he's also got a set on him as well. So he'll change it at half time. He'll change it in 30 minutes if he has to.
That's the difference.
That is the difference. And I feel like Ardley was always a little bit hesitant to do things like that, and he'd always sort of change it after the hour mark when I felt it was probably a little bit too late. So that's what I like about Birchland. He's not afraid to change things. And I think he also has a good connection with the players, whereas to know that if you're being brought off, it's nothing personal. It's the squad is the squad, and you've got to do what's best for the club. It's not about you.
I know it's easy to say Ruben won us the game against Grimsby because he technically did, but Birchland also won us the game. Half time, we were being peppered.
I've heard.
Yeah, but they were all of them were class. But first half, we were under it a little bit, and we defended our 18-yard box pretty well. But Birchland switching that from kickoff, not on top of that second half. So formation-wise, what are you going, George? Against Solihull, a team that have conceded 1 and 8, fantastic run of form.
3-5-2.
He'll know a lot of these players.
Yeah.
3-5-2. Okay. But 3 at the back, 5 at the back. I'll agree. Slocum, I think, is fit. But for me, Patterson is in goal.
I'm going Slocum.
No, what?
Genuinely am. I just feel
Why would you go Slocum over Patterson?
Because Patterson, I just feel like this will be the game where him holding on to the ball for that little bit too long might not go his way. And we don't want that to happen in front of all those people, do we?
Please comment who you'd rather have, because I don't think anyone's backing you with Slocum in this game. I think you're on your own. You're out on your own in the cold, because surely you can't be dropping Patterson. Did you see the save he made against Rochdale? As a shot stopper, he's fantastic.
Yeah, no, he is good. I'm probably just being a bit overcautious.
I get what you're saying, but you can't be putting Slocum in. Back 3 then. What are you going with?
Brindley, Rollo, and Cameron.
Cameron, 100%. Rollo, 100%. Brindley. Yeah, I agree. That leaves wing backs for me. Dion Kelly-Evans and Joel Taylor. Yeah. Joel Taylor. Yeah. This is a game for Dion. Trust me, this is a game for Dion. He'll be sat in his head now at home, just like literally sat in a chair, just waiting, like looking at his watch, thinking, I can't wait to put a massive tackle in, get 11
Just in his training
fans on their
gears,
feet.
just waiting.
Yeah, get 11,000 fans on their feet with that second-minute tackle. I literally got a notification on my phone the other day when it was the Rochdale game. 3 minutes, Deon Kelly Evans goes into the book. I thought you didn't even need to send me that notification because I knew it happened. I'd already known it was going to happen. But that's our back five. Joel Taylor is this season. He was on sort of a level trajectory. The last 3 or 4 games seriously improved, like rocketed up. His attacking contribution is becoming second to none, and defensively is very hard to beat. Very, very hard to beat. So
it gets interesting. I think
we both agree Matty Palmer, 100%.
Undroppable. If he gets dropped at any point this season, I'll do something out of character.
Go on, what are you gonna do?
Try and smash my mug again.
It won't happen.
It won't happen.
I'll try. Sledgehammer will bounce off. There you go. That's what you could win. We're almost doing the giveaway. So
the new ones here as well. Still in the bag.
Yeah. Still in the bag. Hashtag Mugshot if you'd like to win that. We'll be drawing that in about 2 or 3 minutes time. So Palmer then. That takes us up to...
Can we just say as well before we go on, what a player.
Yeah.
He got in Team of the Week, didn't he, this week? National League Team of the Week. What a player. Yeah. He's so underrated, I think, at Knox.
What a player. Honestly, unbelievable player. And, when we go into games like this, the confidence he gives me that Palmer will put in a different performance because he was so good against Grimsby as well that second half. Like, I feel like players must look at him and think, like, imagine Vincent coming straight into the side against whoever it was. I could literally slip my mind on his first game. Yeah. And then coming into the league game against Stockport, he's got Palmer with him. Confidence boost, massive. And he's got Doyle to coach him from the side. Unbelievable. Okay, who are you putting in midfield with Palmer? This is
Vincent,
tricky.
Ticket salesman. Confidence going to be up there. You sold some tickets this week. Footballing ability is obviously quite good as well. What about you? Do you agree? Or
I'm going Vincent purely because he wasn't great against Grimsby first half, but no one was fantastic. But purely because 11,000 fans with Vincent's energy. Come on.
Crazy.
The way that he moves around the pitch is unbelievable. I think he'll have a fantastic game. So I'm going to go for Frank Vincent. What about you?
So where it gets difficult, isn't it?
I'll go with mine.
Go on.
I'll go with mine. I'll go Cal Roberts. 11,000 fans again. Callum Roberts.
Yeah, he seems to step up actually, don't you, thinking about... Yeah, no, I'd agree, Cal Roberts.
Ruben Rodriguez, whose family are at this game, aren't they?
Yeah, his mum and dad
are talking about that. And Kyle Wharton. Yeah?
Yeah.
It has to be, doesn't it? It literally has to be. That's the team. That is the team, I think. And the confidence I'd have with that team. Then look who you've got on the bench to bring on. You've got Jim O'Brien on the bench. You've got Cairo Mitchell, who I think he's decent. He just needs a goal. You've got Nemain. What a player he is. What a player. The Rochdale game, he came on. All I was hearing was his name. Literally, he was bossing it. Okay, last like 10, 20 seconds to get your hashtag Mugshot in. Keeps things hot for a week, keeps things cold for a week, can't be broken, stirs itself. I'm sure next time we do it, we'll find something out. Yeah, we can't confirm it, but it's been tested by you, and I trust you. I really trust you.
Wouldn't lie.
Yeah.
I just want to give a disclaimer though. Don't try and drop your mug out your window, bedroom window.
No, please don't. Please don't. Okay, let's have a power of technology. Is it going to work again? Let me know, George, if you can see that screen. Yeah?
Yeah. Here we go. Ready to go.
This week's winner. Thanks for staying with us for the episode. This week's winner is... It's Jack. Jack Hiko has won this week's mug. So congratulations, Jack. Obviously, don't try and drop it out the window, like George suggested. But if you contact us on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, again, Twitter or Instagram is probably better, we will get that mug to you. We'll get it sorted out. So congratulations for that, and thank you for joining us. 2 more to give away, George.
Yeah.
2 more to give away. Probably the best mug in the world. Does it hold beer, George? Does it hold beer?
Yeah. In a word. Yeah,
Brilliant.
I've done it once. Brewed
I've
up.
heard it. Yeah.
Plum IPA. You
Keeps it cold.
cold. Yeah, I'm convinced it'd still be cold now.
Yeah.
Score predictions now, isn't it?
I am too. Okay, score predictions. Everyone that has been with us throughout the episode, this is your chance to get the score predictions in. We're going to be doing score predictions for Rochdale and for Solihull, and I just want to say I think there'll be a pretty much unchanged side for the Rochdale game, or a couple of people, maybe
Jim.
one of the centre backs, and Jim will come in. I think Chickson will come in as well. So there we go. Okay, George.
Solihull.
I'm saying
1-0 knots.
And who's scoring?
Dion Kelly Evans. Knee slide in front of the away end. It's about a 20-foot knee slide as well.
Goosebumps.
Hair's all up on the back of my neck. It's crazy.
And Rochdale?
I'm going to say 1-0 knots as well.
Who's scoring?
Ruben
Rodriguez. Okay, I'm going Notts County 3, Solihull 0. I'm a person that likes these stats and these runs to come to an end. A team that's letting one goal in 8 games, bring it on. That's got to come down at some point. There's a reason they let 5 into Dagenham. And I just think that the crowd behind, not saying it'd be easy, but I think later on in the game, it'll be 1-0, they'll push and we'll get a couple of goals. I'm going 3-0 Notts. I'm going Ruben Rodriguez, Cal Roberts, and finally, Matty Palmer. And then Rochdale.
Someone always puts 3-0 chicks and hat trick in the comments.
The same person every week. You love it. Yeah, it is. But I can see a 1-0 either way. Just covering your own back. Okay, Rochdale, I'm going 1-1 after full time. Kyle Cameron, 1-1 after extra time. I can see it being past your bedtime as well, George. When it goes to
way
penalties.
Past my bedtime, yeah.
Way past your bed. This is almost past your bedtime. You've got 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, Notts will win on penalties, and they'll put the demons of the loss to Hornchurch behind them with 5 solid penalties to win 5-4 on penalties. There are my predictions. Okay, let's get a few.
I want. But while we're waiting for other people to come in, who's the 5 penalty takers? Go on, I want the details.
Me? You want me to give you the 5 penalty takers?
I do, yeah.
Easy. Ruben, Cal, Eli Sam comes on and gets the crucial third. Cara Mitchell, Ed Francis comes on and gets the winner.
You're taking the mic.
Honestly, it's going to happen. Right, Chris, 3-1 Notts, Ruben, Wharton and Cal. I'll try and get as many of these as I can. 2-1 Notts and then 1-0 Notts against Rochdale. So many people have sent them in. So, dreaded 0-0 when you've got 11,000 fans. 0-0 and 1-0. We've got your favourite, George. Callum, obviously one of the best scanners of anyone in the turnstiles at Meadow Lane. 3-0 Chicks and hat trick, but could see it 1-0 either way. We've got 2-1 Notts, 2-0 Notts. So many. Jack, the winner of our giveaway, 3-1 Notts. Alan says 5-0 and 1-0. Meadow Lane the roof would come off Meadow Lane at 5-0. You'd have 11,000 every week. They'd be thinking, is this what happens every game?
I reckon if we 5-0 them on Saturday, we will see the Doyle forward rolling wave.
Yeah, and we need a chant about that. So if anyone wants to start a chant, Solihull, the game will be 2-1, Rochdale 1-0, Cal to get him moving. Ellie, 3-0, Wharton, Roberts, Rodriguez. There's so many. I'll try and get more in. Royston, Solihull keep it hard to beat, so going for 0-0, 1-0 against Rochdale. Chris, Notts 1, Rochdale 0. Palmer's screamer top bins. He's threatened that so many times. And then Ellie with a final one, 1-0 Rodriguez versus Rochdale. Ellie says no Wharton on penalties. I actually seen the future and he comes off for Eli Sam because Eli Sam will score. So
it's been a little bit suspect on penalties though, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a penalty.
I back Cairo, to be fair.
Yeah, I would. I would. It's been a very, very busy but very enjoyable episode. Thank you for joining us. Congratulations to Jack. Contact us and we'll get it arranged for you to get one of those mugs. 2 left to give away. They will be done in the very near future. If you have enjoyed, please do subscribe. We're heading for 2,000 by the end of this season. That is our goal. If you have liked the video as well, if you haven't already done so, please give it a like. And hopefully, most of you here will be down at Medley on Saturday for a very big occasion where we hopefully break the National League record.